Hello, fellow collectors, and welcome to the channel, or welcome back. On the 5th episode of Coffee and Cards, we are going to be talking about the 1984 Donruss card of Don Mattingly. So let's take a look at this card. So I've got one of Emily's coffee cups here. It's a nice Lily Pulitzer coffee cup for this edition of Coffee and Cards, episode 5. So the 1984 Donruss Don Mattingly. It was a card when I first started collecting that I always wanted. The 1984 Donruss set back in that late 80s was the granddaddy of sets. Highly sought after, supposedly very rare and hard to find. This rookie card of Don Mattingly went for big money back then. In my head, I feel like it was going for $100, maybe $200. I could be wrong. If I am, please leave in the comments there below what the price was back in the late 80s, but I really feel like it was well over $100 back then. So anyways, when I did get back into the hobby, this was the first card I had my eyes set on, and I got this really for, I feel like, a steal, maybe between $5 and $10 back 6-7 years ago when I got this card. And I was super pumped because, like I said, this was one of the cards I wanted when I was a child collecting, and this will be in my collection forever. So let's talk a little bit about the card, and let's talk a little bit about Don Mattingly. So when Mattingly's career first started, he got off to a great start. I'll put the stats up here to show you. So in 1985, we were looking at 211 hits, 35 home runs, 145 RBIs that season. In 86, he had 238 hits. Just let that number sink in for a minute. 31 home runs, 113 RBIs. He had a nice little, I would say, 4-year run with his baseball career, and then injuries started happening, and things kind of started on a downhill slide far as his stats went. He ended up his career, Mattingly, with 2,153 hits, 222 home runs, and 1,099 RBIs. So a really good career. Could have been way better if he had just stayed healthy through most of his career. So the card here itself. So you can, I just looked on COMC, just see how much raw cards we're going for, and the lowest is about $45, so it's not a really cheap card anymore. The PSA grades, so this is kind of the interesting part. So there are currently 3,373 PSA 9s of the 1984 Donruss Don Mattingly, and the most recent one sold for $290. And then for PSA 10s, there is a population of 289, so not a very high number. And the most recent PSA 10 of this card sold for right over $3,000. So the big issue with the 84 Donruss card is the centering, and the card I have is a perfect example of it. You can see it's not top to bottom centering is okay, but left to right is not. So that it is really hard to find just a well-centered, just 84 Donruss card in general, but especially with this Mattingly card. And if we take a look on the back too, you can see how bad the centering is on the back of the card there as well. So if you are in the market trying to find a good raw version of the 84 Mattingly Donruss card, then centering is really the big thing to keep an eye on. Not only the front, if you're a new collector, but also making sure you take a look at the back there as well. So absolutely love Don Mattingly. Love, he's one of probably my favorite Yankees, even though he had his stats don't compare to a lot of other obviously great Yankees. But just love this card, and really the 84 Fleer one. I love that one too, and the Topps version of this card. And those are the Topps one is much cheaper raw than the 84 Donruss too. So anyways, just wanted to share a little bit about the 84 Donruss Mattingly playing for the Yankees there. I know there's a lot of collectors out there who love Mattingly and love this card, so just kind of fun to bring back a little nostalgia and the memories. And so I hope everyone is doing well. And until our next episode of Coffee and Cards, be good. Go Yanks.